Hello and welcome to Mental Stamina and Fearless Motivation video number 4. I had an original plan to shoot this at Good Life Fitness because that is the gym that I actively use for all my workouts, but because of privacy laws and confidentiality, I'm not able to do that. So the next plan is to shoot it at home because, like I said, I never give up and I just keep going forward. So, to get into this video today, because of an active morning ritual, fitness, nutrition, and counting exercises, and everything I do to attain proper mental acuity, I'm able to shoot this video and recall all early childhood events, um, fit, early childhood events, fitness, friends, and everything that happened before my brain tumor because my mind is crisp and I can recall some names. But, anyways, let's get into video number 4. So, in this video, I'll let you know my birth date. I was born February 9th, 1984. So, yes, I do have a birthday coming up on Sunday, and I will be 36 years old. For everybody that can count out there, I'm actually quite good at numbers, which is pretty amazing. I think I get that from my father. I'm very good with numbers, like multiplying things in my name. But what I want to say is that I don't like doing taxes. I don't find numbers to be all that fascinating. I find people to be fascinating because numbers are boring in themselves. And your age is also just a number because if you're living to your full potential every day and taking continuous action, you got no regrets. You sleep better, you eat better, and you just give you give gratitude for the simple things in life, like having a more hot cup of coffee in the morning, breathing fresh, clean air, drinking clean water, and just being appreciative for the things that come naturally free in life. To give you a bit more background on my childhood, when I moved out of Ajax at about 2 years old, and we moved to the small town of Uxbridge. Uxbridge is just it's a small town, and it's right near Zephyr, where my grandparents live. So it's one of those small hamlet communities. It's quite an interesting little city. So in this video, or in Uxbridge. So yeah, and like I was saying, my grandparents did reside in Zephyr. And what I learned from my grandparents is how I learned how to cook. So cooking is like one of the biggest things I find that is you have to learn every day. And like I watch a lot of Food Network, but my early basis was from my grandmother. And my grandmother would always cook pies every day. Like any kind of pie you can have, apple, raspberry, blueberry, peach. And every time when I was there, my grandma would always try to get her pies in before I would come around. But I'd always notice that she'd get to them, and I'd always get up on the chair beside her, and I'd say, "Hey, Grandma, you didn't tell me you were doing your business." So I was always like quite the little helper, even at 2 years old. So that's where pie became my favorite dessert to this day, and why I love it because I find it's a more healthy alternative as if you don't like drench it in sugar like some people do than cake. So at about 8 years old, we moved to the current city I reside in for most of my adulthood, which was Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. And more specifically, we moved to the small city outside of Peterborough, which is Bridgenorth. In Bridgenorth, I lived there, and I was always a bold and adventurous youth. Like one event where I got my first scar, you can barely see it on my forehead to this day, is when I walked off the side of a culvert. Because in between our two houses, there's a steel draining culvert, like a ditch there. So in the middle of winter, I walked off the culvert, slipped off of it, and slipped and hit my head off a rock. It was quite a scary event, like especially when you're like 7 or 8 years old. It was around the 94-ish area. but it was always an interesting event because you really face down death at that point, and especially when you've got towels that are caked with blood, and you're just like, well, God's got to be working something in your life because you got to be always lean to your edges, and when you experience stuff like that, it's pretty scary. So I don't know if you can really see the scar on my forehead, but it's about 28 years old, but it's still quite there if you want to get a more thorough scar. And like I said, I think chicks dig scars. But anyways, getting on to it, I've always been a bold and an adventurous person. Like every day, I say stuff to people, and I draw completely outside of the lines. But like, hey, if you're not growing, you're not learning and finding out what you're capable of. So also another thing I did when I was a young child, I remember yelling, "There will be more" in 94. So, and also "The sun will rise" in 95. Those are just some things from the early 90s, and it's very fascinating to me that I can still remember that quite accurately after surviving that brain tumor. So being like 25 years ago, I think it's pretty good for your memory capabilities. Just a short pause while I refer to my notes as always. So yeah, like I was saying before, like I do have a vivid reflection of many of the early childhood friends that I met. So some of the few people I met were Ken and John Strang, Jen Grant, Steve Skitch, Jay McDonald, Kevin Lennox, Tyler Bookout, Kaylee Seabrook, Josh Hunter, Jay McDonald. I may have repeated a few of those, but you know, it all comes with time. Oh yeah, Caroline Wills and Jeremy Jackson, Lee Forbes, and Lane Conway. Like some of those were nerds, some of them were girlfriends, and some were jocks. But like, I just have a loose recollection. Like some of the people I still talk to on Facebook every day. So it's just like making sure you make those charitable reflections every day. So another interesting thing, and like I said, we moved to Bridge North, like, and the public school I went to was up on the hill. It was called Chemong Public School. So early on there, we played a game called Tetherball, where you have a loose ball that hangs from a pole there. And one of the early memories I require is where I first met Mike Fisher. If you're familiar, Mike Fisher is married to Carrie Underwood, and he is a pro NHLer. And back in the day, Mike had the unshakable faith that he's going to go to the NHL. And we'd always say, yeah, right, Mike, yeah, right. But hey, he proved us wrong. I'm just like, that's the greatest thing I like, when people prove you wrong. So like, and every day you just got to go forward and like, and just have a faith and always think positive, because it's impossible to live a successful life if you're in a negative environment. So yeah, like I was saying, the unshakable faith that Mike said, I didn't develop really this like full strength until after my brain tumor, because like then I just realized, well, God's really got my back. I didn't develop that until afterwards, but that's what you got to have every day. And I think it takes a significant life experience to like get that mental acuity together, because like if you're not taking risks and living a dangerous life, you're really not living at all, because like nothing really comes when you take a safe side of life. So I'll just elaborate too. Also, my favorite cartoon characters when I was a young kid were the obviously Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. So obviously the best Ninja Turtle is Michelangelo with the nunchucks, the partier. His catchphrase always being "Cowabunga, dude," and eating pizza. And like, who didn't like the Turtles? Like, and then you had Raphael, the Lone Star badass, and then you had Donatello, the inventive nerd, and then you had Leo, the leader. Like, I found the Turtles did several great movies, but I found they really got broken up in the 2000s. They're the best in the 90s, and that was the focus of my early childhood. So yeah, just as I come to the end of this video, there were many other memories that occurred in my childhood that are of of note, but these are the most salient ones, and I don't want to dilute the overall message, which is to provide accurate mental acuity. Like, you just gotta set yourself to do, like, get everything together first thing in the morning. That is part of a morning ritual, because how do you eat an elephant? Well, you eat it one chunk at a time. No matter how big something is, you just got to slowly break it down into sizable chunks. Like, even today, like, I did yoga, I went and got my uniform for security, and then I went for a workout, and then I was talking to people at Good Life, and then I cooked dinner, and now I'm shooting this video with you guys. So it's just like all about breaking things down, like, every day. Even tomorrow, I'm planning out what I want to do while I shoot this video. But that's what it comes down to, just slowly breaking things down into sizable chunks. So the next video will be shot on Sunday, February 9th, my birthday. I always like celebrating my birthday. Like, who doesn't like to celebrate their birthday? Anyways, yeah, I'll probably be having, like, some healthy pie, because who doesn't like pie? Getting back to the thing. But anyways, I'm always open to helping anybody that is going through, like, cancer, because, like, I've really put fitness first in my life. And anybody, and I've got a host of, like, people that will be appearing on my YouTube video series, Fearless Motivation and Mental Stamina, in the coming weeks. But I want to do in the first, like, 10 or so videos is really establish a baseline of just myself personally reflecting and about my history and how I continue to thrive even after being 12 years cancer free. I'm always open to also to criticism. If anybody thinks this feed can be stronger, currently I'm just working by myself, but you're always stronger when you invite more people around to help you. So in the last moral of the story is what I'm going to say is, it's not about being right or wrong, but more importantly, to being open or closed. Like, are you open to opportunity or are you closed to it? Are you always looking for faults in people? Because everybody has faults. And, like, even this feed is not perfect. But more importantly, like I've said before, the message is just to get it out there. I'm open to everybody and just constantly talking to people and just getting the message out there, because the world is filled with a million no's. All you need is one yes to be successful. So that just about covers up this video. In the next video, I will be covering my high school and university and more of my passion for fitness. So like I said, that video will be on Sunday, my birthday. So until next time, Kaizen guys, and woohoo! Another video bites the dust. Take care guys. Bye.